good afternoon. I know this was kind of put together at the last minute. I also know how busy of a day it's been. It's been quite a busy day for you guys, for us. So we're going to do our best to get some questions answered today. We gathered everyone here this afternoon, got everyone together to talk about that attempted sexual assault that occurred early this morning, just after 2 this morning, over in our North Division, over on Winbrook Way. I know that we put something out earlier in the way of a press release, and I wanted to invite Captain Ryan Butler, he's the commander of our North Division, to give you a little bit of context, more importantly what we're doing out there, his people are doing out there to try to resolve that issue and let the community know specifically what's going on. So I don't want to delay. I know most of you are on deadline. I want to introduce Captain Ryan Butler. He's with our North Division.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. At approximately 2:30 this morning, we had a report of a break-in and an attempted sexual assault at the apartment complex on Winbrook Way. The victim stated that the suspect entered her apartment. She was able to fight him off and he fled the scene. Officers responded and immediately began conducting a canvass of the area. Detectives and a sergeant from our sexual assault unit also responded to the scene, as well as technicians from Crime Scene Search to begin collecting evidence. From that point in time, North Division has had patrol officers dedicated to that part of our division. That started this morning during third shift when the incident occurred. We've reallocated some of our community officers from other neighborhoods in the district. They've been down there since this morning, re-canvassing the area, working with the apartment management and the community, both to see if they have information related to the incident, as well as providing safety and security information at the complex. Throughout the day, we've been conducting zone checks with our patrol officers. We have officers assigned there this evening after dark to conduct foot patrol, and then we'll have continued directed patrols during the evening hours into tomorrow morning. At this time, we have some of our analysts from criminal intelligence conducting a review of this case, as well as the crime lab is currently processing physical evidence that was collected at the scene. We continue to stay in touch with our detectives from the sexual assault unit to see what leads and what the physical evidence is bearing out, as well as continuing to work with our support units and our community coordinators to reassure the community that we're there, to give them tips, to provide safety information, and so that they can be assured that we are continuing to investigate and respond to ensure their safety.
Was she home alone, and do we know how her attacker got in the house?
She was home alone at the time. It's believed that entry was made through a window that was unlocked.
Was there any indication that she knew this person?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Can you give us any more information on description, injuries from the fight or clothing?
No injuries were reported as far as related to an assault. The victim was evaluated on scene by medic.
I'm sorry, I meant for him.
No, ma'am, I don't have indication of injuries for the suspect. What we're looking for now is additional witness information. If there's anybody in the complex or in that part of the Deridwood, Tanglewood neighborhoods, if they will call Crime Stoppers, 704-334-1600. They can remain anonymous. They're eligible for cash compensation for providing investigative information. But that's going to be the key, is getting additional information from witnesses that live in that community.
Has there been any similar incidents in the area?
No, sir. No, there haven't. I know we discussed some issues previously, but the last series of break-ins that we had in that area were all cleared by arrest. That individual is in custody and is in another part of the state currently.
Is there any suspect description at all?
It's extremely vague, ma'am. What we got was a young, light complexion black male, about 19 to 24 years of age, probably 180 to 190 pounds. He was wearing a gray or medium colored sweatshirt, jeans, and white sneakers.
How concerned are you that he may try something like this again?
Well, ma'am, I'm concerned about everyone in North Division safety. So we take all of our reported incidents seriously. We're dedicating resources specifically, not just to that apartment community, but to that area of the district, so that we have not just the patrol officers, but we have additional community officers down there, and we have additional foot patrol officers down there.
I assume after the incident was treated by 911, called in, and was it called in by the victim?
That's the information I have, yes, sir.
Okay.
We spoke to a lot of residents who live out there who say they live in fear. It's a lot of high crime that happens in that neighborhood. Are these officers going to be focusing on that neighborhood for until this arrest is made, or will they be giving more presence out there from here on out?
No, sir, that's a section of the division that gets regular attention. There's another nearby apartment community that we actually work very intensely with. Not from a criminal standpoint, we have a very robust youth program down there at an apartment complex right around the corner. So the community officers down there are very engaged. We've been engaged with all of their management and have offered to initiate some programs there as well as provide some additional programming for the youth and residents of that complex.
And how's the victim? How is she doing?
To my knowledge, ma'am, at this point, she's fine. But as I said, we're going to continue to be there. She is able to get both in touch with our sexual assault detectives and with our patrol units.
We know she was able to fight the suspect off. Do we have any idea how she was able to do that?
No, ma'am, I can't give you specifics on that at this time.
Do we have any description of the suspect's hair? Description, like maybe close cut?
No, sir. He was wearing a hooded sweatshirt that was up over his head, and the victim was not able to provide that information.
Do we know if he was armed at all, the suspect?
He did not indicate a weapon, nor did he present a weapon during the incident.
All right, guys. Captain, we thank you.
Thank you, folks.
I know how busy you are. You've been, he and his people have been on this since early this morning. Just to reiterate what the captain said, with our Crime Stoppers tip line up to a $1,000 reward for information. In this case, 704-334-1600. They don't need to know who you are, where you are. They just need this information for them to follow up on. And just to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Captain Butler said about this isn't something that they see in this particular part of the community that he and his people patrol out there. Also very rare for this type of incident to occur at all when you're talking about a stranger sex assault or attempted sex assault. I want to say, and don't hold me to this, and I've got a sex assault lieutenant who might be able to speak a little bit more articulately about it than I could. The statistics just don't bear that out, that this happens quite frequently. And Melanie, would you mind just giving them a little snapshot of what it is that we traditionally see and talk about how rare this is?
I mean, it's extremely rare, and the numbers certainly vary. National statistics tend to mirror what we see locally, somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 to 90% of cases, the victim and perpetrator know each other in some form or fashion. And that other 10%, defined as stranger, can be a variety of things where they don't know them all, never seen them before, to they've met them very briefly and may know them by a first name. So stranger, absolutely unknown to each other, that's very rare in this community and everywhere.
That's Lieutenant Melanie Peacock, P-E-A-C-O-C-K.
Yes.
Everybody good? All right, guys, we appreciate it. I know it's late notice, but appreciate the turnout, and hopefully you'll get that information across for us. Thank you.
I served in the United States Marine Corps.
I served in the United States Navy.
I served in the United States Coast Guard.
I was in the Air Force.
I served in the U.S. Army.
Primarily the Army that I remember is an Army that bonded together no matter what the situation. There were a lot of men and women who came into adverse situations but made them great.
We did a lot of really tough things together, and some were extremely difficult and demanded a lot of teamwork and long hours in the middle of the night in far away places that were sometimes dangerous.
We got to work with the Panamanian government as we traversed through the Panama Canal, and then as we proceeded back up the West Coast, we were involved in a rather large drug running operation that we ended up seizing the boat.
The biggest thing for me is
the wide range of different areas I've been. I've been to Germany. I served here stateside several tours. So the whole experience has been nothing but like a university for me, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
We were all so close because we were away from our natural family. So I remember just going, hanging, having barbecues with them, laughing and having fun at work.
Honestly, that's probably the best part is the friends that I've made in the service. Some of them are